What's going on, guys? MariK here, back with another Dragon Ball Super reveal this Friday. This will be our second video of the day, and it is dedicated towards Series 5. Bandai has revealed the cards for the upcoming starter decks for Series 5, and it's cards that I know you all have been waiting for, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. Up first, for those of you who missed it, the leader for the black starter deck is going to be the Dragon Balls. With the permanent, this card can't attack. Its activate main says switch this card to rest mode, choose up to 2 Dragon Ball cards from your deck or life and add them to your hand, then shuffle any areas you look through, so you get to see your life. You get to take cards from your life, although since these leaders don't awaken, that doesn't really help you out too much, except for seeing if any of your good combo cards are there, or any of your super combos. And then it has the ability Wish, which is in place of Awaken. When there are 7 Dragon Ball cards in your drop area, choose up to 1 Desire card in your drop area, add it to your hand, and flip this card over. Into Miraculous Arrival Shenron. He still can't attack, even though he has an extra 5,000 power. His activate main says once per turn, choose one of the following effects. Draw 1 card, choose 1 Desire card in your hand with an energy cost less than or equal to your current energy, and activates its activate main skill. I'm going to assume all the Desire cards are based on wishes that have been made throughout the series on the Dragon Balls. And then you can remove 7 Dragon Ball cards in your drop area from the game. This does not count as warping them. Removed from the game is a separate area, fortunately, yet unfortunately, because it would imbalance these cards way too much. And if you do so, choose one of your battle cards and it gains plus 10,000 power and triple attack for the duration of the turn, then flip this card over at the end of the turn. So once you use that wish, more or less, he reverts back to the Dragon Balls and you cannot reawaken him, so to speak. So you only get to do that once, but giving any battle card an extra 10k and triple attack is insane. People are already blowing up the internet trying to figure out the biggest and most degenerate combos that they can come up with this card. I've seen a lot of good ones so far, but none of them have really stood out as holy crap, this breaks the game. Up next, we have the first starter deck exclusive card, and it's Dimensional Warrior Son Goku. Yes, he is Son Goku Xeno. Everybody's been asking for it. He's a 4-cost 20,000 with double strike and barrier, and he has auto Sparking 7, which is a new mechanic introduced in set 5 that says this skill takes effect when you have 7 or more cards in your drop area. Not that hard to do, but it does kind of make you play around your overwhelming abilities. When you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and send it to its owner's warp. So it allows you to do a little bit more with your drop area besides just dump everything in it and then warp it from the game for your overwhelm. And it actually makes you have to more closely think about when you're going to overwhelm cards and when you're not. A lot of people, for the most part, they'll see their overwhelm card, and I know first thing they do is play it, so that nothing else they play that turn goes to the warp, or goes to the drop to get warped needlessly when it could just fuel an overwhelm for the next turn. Up next, we have Vegeta, Return from the Darkness. He, too, is a Xeno card. He is a 3-cost 19,000 power, which is the weirdest number we have yet to see. We're getting into some really, like, set 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! Power levels here. He's got critical and auto burst 5, so you must place the top 5 cards of your deck in your drop area to activate this skill. So it's a little different than the sparking mechanic. However, they go in tandem with each other. The burst putting the cards in your drop area and the sparking removing them from the game. When you play this card, if your opponent has 11 or more cards in hand, your opponent chooses cards from their hand and sends them to their warp until they have 10 cards in hand. So, okay. I mean, it's kind of like a weird cell chain effect, except not too great. Like, sure, some of the decks do generate a ridiculous amount of hand advantage, but dropping them down to 10 cards, like, no thanks, I'll just cell chain you. If I'm going to be slightly degenerate, I may as well be successful with it. Then we have the glorious dragon himself, Shenron, figure of Majesty. He's a 4-cost 20,000 who still can't attack, but his activate main is a Sparking 5, which says draw 1 card and choose one of the following. Choose up to 2 of your energy and switch them to active mode. Choose a battle card with an energy cost of 2 or less from your drop area and play it. So hello, all of your 1-drop plus 10k crits, or your 2-drop crit Trunks or Piccolo, or, you know, whatever stupid shit you happen to be playing. or choose your leader card or one of your battle cards, and it gains plus 5,000 power and critical for the duration of the turn. That can go in tandem really, really well with the Shenron leader's ability to give a card plus 10,000 and triple attack. Personally, I think this Shenron should have barrier, since he is Shenron after all, and he can't even attack, so he's never going in rest mode on your own terms. But I think it is a really ridiculously good card. I love the art on this card. The effect is really solid too. Perhaps having barrier would make it a little too broken, but I guess if you play it on the turn you're going to activate the leader's ability and just swing with whatever potential 3-drop you played, then you can just go in with a triple attacking, potential double striking, critical bullshit. Then to round out the starter deck exclusive cards, we have a Kid Goku who seems extremely misplaced. It's Mega Focus Son Goku. He's a 2-drop, 10,000 power with Burst 3. For the duration of the turn, this card gains 5,000 power and can attack battle cards in active mode. Not a particularly outstanding ability. I mean, sure, you could use it with some of the additional Dragon Ball support, but I don't know. I just feel like compared to the other cards in the deck, as far as the exclusive stuff goes, he's out of place, and he's just really underpowered for what everything else in this set seems to do so far. Then for the other starter deck, we have the card everybody's been waiting for, Gogeta. He's got Auto Burst 2, so when this card attacks, you can draw a card. When you have 4 or less life, switch 2 of your energy to active mode and flip this card over. Into Knockout Strike Gogeta. His auto is Sparking 5, and when this card attacks, you draw 1 card. If you have 3 or more energy, this card gains plus 5,000 power for the duration of the turn, and if you have 5 or more, it gains Double Strike. So he could potentially be a 20,000 Double Strike. Getting to 3 energy is not really that big a deal. Getting to 5 energy, unless Bandai does actually manage to slow the game down with set 5, is also less likely, although he is blue, and blue does have a lot of good utility right now. His activate main says, choose 1 card from your hand and place it in your drop area. Your opponent can only activate counter skills once for the duration of the turn. So, whether that be 1 negate, 1 counterplay, you're just only playing 1, which is kind of cool, I guess. It does force your opponent to discard a card, but only getting to play 1 of your negates for the duration of the turn. I don't think we have any other skills that limit what your opponent can play like that, other than cards like Flying Nimbus limits attacks, but nothing limits the number of cards your opponent can actually play. To make Gogeta, we require Fusion Reborn Vegeta, who's a 3-cost 20,000 power that says when this card is placed in your drop area from your hand as a result of Union Fusion, if your leader card is a Gogeta card, choose 1 of your energy and switch it to active mode. So of course, we all knew that Gogeta was going to be like the Gotenks cards and play from your hand, which allows them to play a little bit easier than the Union Potara cards. However, his ability is not as ridiculous as it could be, so I feel like they kind of are balancing the effects out, since they don't have to be on the board to be able to fuse them together, which is pretty nice. He fuses together with Fusion Reborn Son Goku, who is also a 3-cost 20,000 power, and when this card is placed in your drop area from your hand as a result of Union Fusion, if your leader card is Gogeta, you draw 1 card. So again, not a really busted ability. You get an extra energy back, which would be nice for defensive plays, but you also get to draw a card, so you're not really negging yourself as much, since you're only having to drop 1 card due to Goku allowing you to get a 2nd card. But overall, I feel like the cards are still pretty balanced, which is a good thing, since again, Union Fusion is from the hand and doesn't require you to actually put any board presence out, so you can fusion whenever you have the available energy instead of having a big board to have to set up. Then we have our first Gogeta battle card. It's Fusion Gogeta. He's a 5-cost 25,000 with Double Strike and Union Fusion for 2 blue and 2 other, requiring of course Son Goku and Vegeta. And you place 1 of each in the drop area of the same power level from your hand. So it's also nice that he has the power level restriction, so you can't just drop any Goku and Vegeta. They do have to have the same power level, which is probably why both of these Goku and Vegetas have 20,000 power. He has Sparking 5, and when you play this card, you draw 2 cards. Well, there goes my theory on somewhat negging yourself to play this card. You actually get to draw extra cards, and then you choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards and place them at the bottom of their owner's deck. Okay, that's just ridiculous. I understand that they want people to be excited about Gogeta because you have the people that like Gogeta more than Vegeta, but that's kind of ridiculous. At least he doesn't get around barrier, which is fair. So it's not entirely busted. It just makes me want to play more cards with barrier, honestly. It makes me want to play more cards that are the cards people complain about, and the people that complain about those cards are the ones that are not running them, and instead of running stuff like Super Saiyan 3, blue, yellow, red aggro shit. Then lastly, to round out this deck's special exclusive cards, we have a card everybody's been waiting for, Great Saiyaman. He's a 3-drop, 30,000 vanilla monster. He does nothing. I don't know what the point was to creating him, since even his character is still considered Son Gohan Adolescence. Sure, you could search him via cards like the Indomitable Link Piccolo from the Set 4 starter deck, but what is he going to do? I mean, you could use him with cards like Shenron's leader ability and give him triple attack for 40,000, but that's really not going to do a whole lot either. I'm not really sure what they intended with this card. If he actually had the Great Saiyaman character trait, it would make more sense, but since he doesn't, he's still just a Gohan. I don't feel like he benefits the Gohan support in any particular way, other than just finally giving everybody a Great Saiyaman card just to shut us all up. But that's going to do it for the Set 5 starter deck reveals. I know I am going to be more excited for the Shenron, just because I want to see all the different things we can do with Shenron and his abilities. However, I know most people are probably going to be a lot more inclined to pick up that Gogeta deck, just because people have been wanting Gogeta for so long, and now that they finally get it, it's going to pop up everywhere. Whether or not the deck ends up being good will all depend on other cards that we see in Set 5, but I know there are going to be plenty of people trying this deck out regardless of whether it is good or bad. It'll be like Vegeta. People are still trying to make a Vegeta deck work, despite the fact that the support just isn't really there, and the game is too fast to be able to make it successful. So who knows? If Set 5 is able to change things and make Gogeta playable, Vegeta may also be able to make a decent comeback. I would love to actually see a pseudo mirror match between a Gogeta and a Vegeta deck and see how they can play around each other's abilities. But if you guys are hyped for Set 5, if you're hyped for these new starter decks, make sure you hit that like button down below for us. You know, we appreciate all the support. We appreciate all of our subscribers and our viewers as well. We're over 1,000. I think we're almost to 1,100 now, just like maybe 2 or 3 shy of hitting that goal. And that is just friggin' amazing. You guys have been killing it with the support on all of our Dragon Ball content, all of our other series as well. So we appreciate all of that. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this up and get the frig out of here. So we'll see you guys in the next video.